back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and welcome to my little yarniverse. So hello, welcome back if you are a returning viewer, welcome if you're new. I hope you are enjoying the videos on this channel, and if you are enjoying them then please can you hit that subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of this content. It would be really nice going into 2022 if we can grow the channel slightly. I won't ask all the time for people to do subscriptions, but it does definitely help when people sub to the channel, so yeah, please hit that like button and subscribe. So today's video I'm really excited about because it's taken me back to my crochet roots. I learnt to crochet a couple of years ago with the original goal of being able to crochet origami, because I just felt like crochet toys, in my opinion, gave a nice finish, and knitted toys were a little bit more difficult for me, so I really wanted to learn how to crochet. But I didn't jump straight into origami. I actually went for something slightly more simple to begin with, just to get the idea of holding the hook, and that was just a granny square. And just a granny square turned into 360 granny squares and a massive mood blanket, which if I remember I will get a photo of and I will insert that here. And if not, you will get an awkward silence. But yes, I did that as my first project, and I used Bella Coco's tutorials in order to learn how to do that. Now, if you are into crochet, you almost certainly already know about Bella Coco Crochet. If you're not into crochet yet but you're interested in started, then go and check out her channel. I'll leave a link in the description because she puts out a lot of beginner friendly content and really explains the stitches and what she's doing, and I really do enjoy that if you're trying to learn something new. So yeah, go ahead, take a look. And I did that, you know, I sat there, I watched some tutorials, I've done a few things. There was the mood blanket, there was the cocoon cardigan, although I used different yarn for that, and there was also the tapestry crochet cushion. Again, if I remember, I'll make sure I put a picture of that up because I don't have it behind me at the moment. Yeah, so really enjoying it, but there's one thing that I watched her videos and never took part in because I never subscribed, and that is the Crochet Society boxes. You might be a subscription person, you might not be a subscription person. I personally don't do subscription boxes because on the one hand, yes, you might find something that you wouldn't have bought yourself and that might be good and push you out your boundaries, but if you're okay with pushing yourself out your boundaries anyway and willing to try new things, you can then be more selective about the yarns and the patterns and stuff like that, and I'm just one of those people personally. And I do find that the Crochet Society boxes are sometimes a little bit too pink for my liking as well. So I never subscribe to the boxes, but I love the extras in them. So the yarn, some of the yarn looks beautiful and I'm not disputing that, but the crochet hooks and the stitch markers and some of the extras, like I remember there was one in like a green pack where they had a bamboo or a wooden cup that was engraved, and it was so beautiful. And I have just sat watching those unboxing videos, almost all of them. I think I might be behind on a couple, but I've watched all of them because I enjoy seeing what people have come up with for those boxes and how they're themed and how they tie together. And I've sat on the sidelines until Christmas 2021. There was a huge sale and I loved that, jumped on it because there was a few boxes in there that were old subscription boxes that haven't been distributed for some reason, and one of them I had my eye on. Can't possibly think why I would have bought this one. If you don't know already, I actually did my degrees in astronomy, so this was very on brand for me. So yeah, absolutely love it, and so excited to have purchased a box that I know what the contents are and I can partake in this and yeah, get to share it with you. So really excited. So before we open this box, let's just take a moment to appease the scientist in me, and let's talk about this space theme going on here. We've got this beautiful nebula across the front, which is pretty good actually. So obviously it's not a real picture, but artistically it's definitely taken inspiration from a real picture of Aurora. So Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis. There's also Aurora Australis. I probably completely butchered that pronunciation, but they are the northern and the southern lights because they do actually happen at the North and the South Pole. And these green bands are usually the most common. You can see those down to lower latitudes because it is the oxygen sort of in lower levels of the atmosphere that is plentiful and really easy to create this green aurora. I have seen this for myself, just the green parts, when I was up north in the UK. But these bits here, this more purple hue. So in aurora pictures, when you see reds and purples, they have got much clearer skies. If you're looking for the northern lights, you are much closer to the pole, to the North Pole. Southern lights would be closer to the South Pole, where you've got so much clearer skies and you can actually see higher up into the atmosphere. So the reds are oxygen that's higher in the atmosphere, and the purples are some helium and some hydrogen. So that's chemically what's producing this beautiful display of colour. Absolutely love it. I'm going to stop nerding out now. And this is a sound that I have been waiting for a while. So if you know, you know. Ready? I love that. I totally understand how in every single video Sarah from Bella Coco is just loving that noise. It's so satisfying. Here we go. So this is the Out of This World box here. And I've already de-taped the tape so that I don't rip the tissue paper in the video recording. So let's take a look. So we're actually going to jump in with some more of the spacey stuff, and we're going to come back to that yarn later. So I really love the stitch marker that came in this set. Again, can't imagine why. So this here, not a true colour planet, but the ring system would indicate that it's probably more of a gaseous planet with snowy, like frozen snow, dirty snowballs really forming those rings around it. And what I love about this is that the hook that comes with this matches that stitch marker so well. So if I just get that hook out. So here's the stitch marker and the hook together. So that is beautifully done. So I'm really looking forward to using this 3mm hook because I have really been struggling with my gauge for origami recently. I am a 4mm person through and through, except that recently my gauge for origami is totally off. It has just loosened entirely. That or I've got thinner yarn, a really thin DK yarn instead, and I think that I will really benefit from jumping down to a 3mm because when you're doing origami you really need those tight stitches so that you don't have the stuffing come out. So super excited for the hook. Just put those there and hope that they don't roll off under the sofa. So the big extra that came in this box is this pouch here, and you know that I am a sucker for space fabric. We've discussed this before. Really like the pouch idea. It's quite flat actually. I hope it stays similarly flat when it is loaded up with hooks and scissors and things, because it looks like it makes a really ideal travel pouch. So like you can get crochet hooks that come in sets that are quite flat, but this is really good, and I think this would keep things all tucked together. You don't have to just put hooks in it. Like I say, you could probably get some scissors in there, some smaller knitting needles, like double pointed knitting needles or something. So I could do without the pink, because you know I hate pink. I could do without the pink, but I do love the spacey fabric on the other side. And the other thing I'm really excited for with this is actually learning how it was made from a sewing perspective. So you know that I'm starting to do some more machine sewing on this channel. So I'm kind of looking at this and where the stitches are, trying to get an idea for how I could construct another version of this. So yeah, that's quite exciting. I'm actually taking something and using it at face value, and then also learning from it how to do something in a completely different craft to what the box is intended for. But that's fine. That's the creativity that we have here, which is great. So other added extras in this box, we have got this strange thing and this little pouch. Now I'm not going to open this pouch because this has got some beads inside. I love that the Crochet Society boxes are trying to go plastic free. That is so amazing. I saw some unboxings and back when they had things in plastic wrappers, and everybody started saying, you know, as feedback, can we have things that are plastic free? And so this little beaded pouch is coming in a little cardboard pouch that can totally be recycled. I've seen that the stuffing before is just placed in the box as well. So yeah, lower plastic, which is fabulous. Although this is plastic, but this here is for the lace work. I'm intrigued. I do think you could just use a ruler if you've got a lace pattern, but it's nice that it matches the theme of the box, and it's nice that the kit has everything that you need to do the patterns. So yeah, super excited to work with this. I think I'd want to learn the lace so I know the technique, but I'm most interested in the beads because I have wanted to put beading into knitting and crochet for a little while now. One of the things I would like to do that with is I've got a friend who's very into sort of medieval history, and even though it's probably not super historically accurate, when you think of medieval history and sort of medieval costume, there's usually those really nice beaded hairnets, and so I'd love to do that as a little costume piece for her, because if it's not historically accurate, it's still, it gets the point across, like, you know what she's going for. So I'd love to make one of those. So that's where we've got the beads and the lace stick. And of course, what is the Crochet Society box without the patterns? So I really love that there's options, so you can try whatever you want. There's a wrap there, kind of like a scarf wrap, that's very nice. There is a guide on how to use the beads, which I'm excited to read. And then there's some little bracelet designs. Some of them look pretty cute. I'm probably not going to do that though, because I think I could use the yarn in a way that I actually would wear. I don't think I'd wear the bracelets. Oh, there's the guide on the lace. And then there's a shrug. Now I think I have a preference for this design, but I am not as skinny as that model. So I'm really interested to find out what the size inclusivity of this shrug is. It does say small, medium and large. I have like old techie arms though from lifting, so I don't have a petite frame, so I don't know if the large would be big enough or not. It has an upper arm circumference. Okay, I can check that. Hopefully that will be sufficient, because I do think size inclusivity is a big thing at the moment, and I think it's important to note that size inclusivity does not mean just scaling up your design massively. You get to a point where actually you do need to reshape the measurements to fit a body, and then like tweaking because you want a slightly better fit or because you want it slightly baggier, like that's kind of on you because you want that detail. But a pattern shouldn't be that you get something and all that's happened is they've just exploded the size to fit you and it doesn't fit at all, and it's kind of just like I could get a bed sheet and wrap it around myself better. That's not okay. So size inclusivity is definitely something that I'm thinking about at the moment, so hopefully that one's okay. But what about you guys? Which design did you prefer the look of? Did you prefer the scarf wrap design, the bracelets, or the kind of like little jackety shrug that they had there? Let me know in the comments which one was your favourite. I kind of want to open up a vote on which you would like me to do, but at the same time this is my box and my yarn, so I feel like I get to choose. But speaking of the yarn, let's take a little look, shall we? So this is beautiful. I think I'll held that up wrong around. So this is called Nebula, which is very fitting. Another reason I really like this box is because it didn't have the usual sort of very pink yarn in it. It actually had these very fitting sort of nebula-esque blues. So loving this. I love that this one's got a little shimmer to it as well. Very pretty. So we have got a 5% mohair, 15% wool and 80% acrylic blend here, and this is very much 3 strands of yarn wrapped around each other in slightly different colours. So there's a sort of a grey blue, a dark turquoisey blue, and then a light turquoisey blue to make this lovely marbled, mottled kind of effect. This yarn is very thin. I mean, I know the patterns are quite lacy, but I'm not sure I could work a 3mm with this yarn. It's very thin. And then we've got this one. Now this is very similar. It's 5% mohair again, and it's 15% wool, but instead of being 80% acrylic, it's actually 75% acrylic, because there is 5% polyester in here, and that's this metallic shine. So again, this is 3 strands of yarn wrapped around each other with a metallic strand wrapped in as well to give it that shine, which is nice because it only catches the light at certain angles. Really very pretty. So yes, looking forward to working with these. I was hoping that actually I could work something up and then like slot it in at the end of the video and be like, here's one I made earlier. But I don't think I'm going to start one of these patterns just yet. I'm going to see what you think in the comments, which one's your favourite. I will take it into consideration. But I'm not gonna lie, if I can get the shrug out of this yarn, I think that's going to be my preference. See if you can change my mind. So yes, really excited to work with that. But for now, I'm just going to pop these all away, make sure I don't lose any of these little bits and pieces. We do not want beads falling all over the floor. That would be a disaster. I think when I start working with the beading, I actually might... It won't be so much of a tutorial because I'll be learning too, but I might film like me learning and practicing, just to maybe show off whether it is a simpler thing and it's just sort of bigged up because it has this technique behind it, or whether it is actually tricky and there are some things that you can fall into a trap of. So I think that would be interesting, just a beginner's view on beaded crochet and knitting. So I might do that, and again I might do the same thing with the lace, see whether it is simple or whether there are some catches to watch for. But yes, other than that, I think that might be it for this video. I am losing that lovely winter sunshine, so I'm going to wrap things up there, and yeah, I will see you in another video. Bye for now.